Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me out there? Welcome, my people. Welcome to Price Action 101. Easy mode. I made it easy. I made it simple. I made it quick. Time is money, and I'm assuming that we have none to waste. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the first step to understanding price action, and price action being the data that you often see on stock charts, right? The candlesticks, the lines, the bricks, things like that. The first step to understanding what you're seeing on the charts is to understand candlesticks. Every chart has it, every asset class, whether it be cryptocurrency, stocks, futures, it's all the same thing. It's all the same price action, right? So we're going to learn that. We're going to learn it the easy way. So first we're going to learn candlesticks. What are candlesticks? Candlesticks are a visual representation of an asset's price during a specific period of time. Depending on which time frame you're looking at, the candlesticks will represent price for that amount of time. For example, if you're on the 5-minute time frame, each candlestick will represent 5 minutes of price action. The same for an hour chart, the same for a daily chart. If you're on a daily chart, the candlesticks will represent 1 day of price action. Each candlestick will represent 1 day of price action. All right. When you see a candlestick, there will be two main components to the candlestick: the real body and the wick. The real body is the representation of price from open to close, right? The wick, on the other hand, represents rejected prices, right? And they are also the highs and lows of the candlestick itself, all right? So we have here two candlesticks. We have a green bullish candlestick, which means the buyers won in that time frame, and we have the red bearish candlestick, which means the sellers won in that time frame. So let's just think, for example's sake, we're on a 5-minute chart, right? We're looking at a 5-minute chart, and we'll go over some examples after this. Go over some real live examples after this, but let's say, for example, we're on a 5-minute chart. We're looking at the 5-minute time frame. So what happens? What did we learn before? Each candlestick represents 5 minutes of price action, right? So if we see a green candlestick on the 5-minute chart, that means that the price closed above its open. So if price opened at $1 and it closes at $2, the buyers won. It's a bullish candlestick, excuse me, and it will be green, right? Now the highs and lows represent rejected prices. These are the wicks. So, for example, in this 5-minute time frame, price opened at $1. It was pushed down to 75 cents by the sellers. The buyers stepped back in, pushed it all the way up to $2.25. The sellers came back in. They tried to push it down further, but they only could get it to $2 before the candlestick closed within that 5-minute time frame, right? On the opposite end, we have the red bearish candlestick. The sellers won this time frame, this candlestick in the 5 minutes. Price opened at $2. Remember, in order to be red, it has to close under its open. So it opened at $2. It closed at $1. When it opened at $2, the buyers stepped in, pushed it up to 225. It was rejected by the sellers. The sellers pushed it all the way back down to 75 cents. 75 cents was rejected by the buyers, but the buyers weren't strong enough. There wasn't enough buying pressure to push the price past $1. So within that 5 minutes, it closed at $1. It's that simple, right? So go over this a few times, and we're going to look at some real life chart examples. All right, folks. So in order to follow along, I like to use tradingview.com. So I suggest heading over to tradingview.com. You're going to do a little quick setup with your email. It's free. Once you do that, we're going to go to products. We're going to go to super charts. This is where we get to see our charts. Now that we're on the chart, it should be bare bones like this. All you really should see is candlesticks, right? You will have your time frames up here: daily, weekly, monthly, 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, and so on. You will have your watch list here. This is your watch list icon. This is where you watch the stocks that you're interested in, right? Whatever, you can add whatever you want there, and really look at them. And we have our candlesticks, right? We have our bullish and bearish candlesticks. Let's zoom in. All right. So let's go over what we learned. When we have a green candlestick, it's a buyer's candlestick, a bullish candlestick. Price opened at this area here and closed at this area here, right? So for this exact candlestick, price opened at about 179.92. It was pushed down slightly to 179.58. The buyer stepped all the way back in, and the candlestick closed at 182.15. Since we're on a daily chart, this is a day's worth of price, right? Let's go look at the 5 minute, since that's what we were talking about in the lesson, right? Each one of these candlesticks represents what? 5 minutes of price action. Excuse me. 5 minutes of price. This is 5 minutes. This is 5 minutes. This is 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Now, as you can see, because the market is open actually right now, this candlestick is live, right? It's neither bullish or bearish. It hasn't closed yet. So it still has time to do what it's doing, right? It has about 4 minutes left in the candlestick. All right. So with this example, we have this red candlestick here that I'm at right here. Price opened at 176.72. It was pushed up slightly but rejected. And within that 5 minute time frame, it closed at 176.48. That's the close. The next candlestick opened, this candlestick that's live right now, it opened at 176.47 and it's currently being pushed down. The sellers are currently winning this candlestick. They're winning. The sellers are in, the sellers are selling, right? We have this wick, meaning that the sellers sold all the way down to 176.30. The buyers are now, as you can see, the buyers are literally stepping back in and trying to push this candlestick up, right? So basically, it's just a tug of war between buyers and sellers. That's what these candlesticks are. This is what price action is, right? It's very simple to understand. It looks the same on every chart. Every chart has this, right? Let's go. Let's look at Target. Let's look at Target's chart. That was Amazon's chart that we want. Let's look at Target. Target, the same thing. It looks the same. It's all the same action, right? Let's go back up to a 1 hour time frame. On a 1 hour time frame, each candlestick represents 1 hour of price. This is an hour. This is an hour. 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, right? All right. Here we have some buying pressure, some buying momentum. We have a lot of buying going on, right? We have prices open here on Friday, last Friday, May 24th, excuse me, May 31st, right? Prices opened at 150, and within an hour, prices closed at 152.08, right? Today, price opened at 153.23. The buyer stepped in, pushed it up to about 154, right? About 154. It was rejected. 154 was rejected by the sellers. The sellers came back in, pushed the price all the way down, and within an hour, price was at 152.54. All right. Buyers, sellers. That's really it. It's very simple. So go over these a few times, go on different charts. I suggest looking at cryptocurrency, especially because crypto never sleeps. So you could watch these things all day and watch how they move in real time. Let's go on the 3 minute chart. Each candlestick represents 3 minutes of price action. We're currently watching Bitcoin USD, and you'll see that the sellers are trying to push that price down, right? Price opened at 68,987 3 minutes ago, or 2 minutes ago. We have about a minute and some change left. It opened there, and the sellers are trying to sell. We don't know who's going to win this candlestick yet, but we'll just watch, right? So that's basically candlesticks. Candlesticks are very simple. Don't get scared. Don't scare yourself out when looking at these charts. It could be intimidating, but it's very simple to understand once you get the basics. All right. So like this video, comment, subscribe, and look forward to the next lesson. The next lesson is coming up. We're gonna master price action in a very short amount of time. so we can start trading and getting this money.